Good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Cody Cup, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi, to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Daga. This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, let's just talk about our weekend a little bit before we jump in on the news. And I was at the Two-Spirit powwow this weekend, and I was all confused because of the storm and out on the football field. And
Oh, yeah.
and then my Jaleesa texted me and wondered where I was.
Oh, no. Well, I'm happy to see that you went. I know a few other relatives and friends and neighbors went to the Two-Spirit powwow this weekend, hosted by New Native Theater. This was their third year of hosting this very special Two-Spirit powwow. Because, you know, our Two-Spirit relatives are important and, you know, need to be included with just representing who they are. And I hope it was a good turnout. I was not able to make it there because I know the weather did kind of dampen some of the plans. Like you said, it was taking place out on the football field and then got moved inside.
Yeah. It really interested me before we get too far down the other track that I want to talk about today. So I was there and Wendy texted me that a friend of hers that she used to work with texted her and saying that Trump had been shot.
Yeah.
And so I was at the Two-Spirit powwow and I was sitting next to the MCs and I was going, wow, this is crazy. I don't know, is this person joking around with Wendy or what? But apparently not. And it was like, wow, I found out before a lot of people about that. But we'll talk about that a little later in the show. But it was crazy.
Yeah, that did happen Saturday. A lot of things happened and took place over this weekend. I was a bit shocked myself, you know, with a lot of the media putting stuff out there right away. You're kind of unsure about what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking to say the least. I don't want to say, you know, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier, honestly, but you know, every political party deserves safety, you know,
definitely.
At these events.
Right. And, you know, the problem too, Haley, too, is that, you know, there were people that were killed there that because of this whole attempt on the orange one. And that's what's super sad, too. The weird thing is how close he got. You know, the weird thing is, you know, he was only 400 feet away or 200
There's a
yards
lot of
away.
weird things, in my opinion, about what happened, but I wasn't there. This is just from what I've been seeing in video evidence from circling around.
Well, and you know, what's weird, we can talk historically, but I guess we are getting into it because I was going to talk about Prairie Island, but historically, when the last president that was shot or former president was Reagan, and he reached out to Russia after he was shot and kind of knew that, you know, our life is fleeting here and times change. And there was a lot of good things that happened, including tearing the wall down in Germany and things like that kind of changed Reagan's life. But this guy here, I don't see that happening. And he picked a vice president today too. And
He did.
Yeah, and it's what's bizarre about this is this guy here was an anti Trump person for many years.
You're right. I have a clip of him talking about all of the negative things that he did not like about Trump.
So he's 39 years old, and yeah, so it's amazing. I hear a lot of our pundits out there talking about our this is going to be a landslide victory for the Democrats, and we need to really make sure that we pay attention and do this and not get lulled to sleep about Trump is still a convicted felon, and he still has the 2025 going for him, even though he's denying that he has anything to do with that, but we know better. And so we just got to keep the eye on the prize and vote blue no matter who. And I feel like Biden's really showed a lot of leadership, and it's kind of bounced back from that debacle debate.
Yeah. Well, and I found it very notable too that President Joe Biden reached out to Donald Trump and just to make sure he was okay and check on his safety. And a lot of, really big DFL politics from across the country kind of did the same thing. So I think in a good way that shows our character. And, I don't know if I was surprised to hear that the shooter was voting Republican for the majority of his voting years.
Mm-hmm.
But it just goes to show, like, we have to, get these guns under control. And, I think it's surprising that congressmen wore AR-15 pins on their jackets a few months ago or whenever that was into the office. Obviously, this is a big problem, and hopefully the other side of the party can see that.
Well, we're in such a upside down world, and the more lies that you say, the more people think it's true, and Trump's really led the way on that. And their rhetoric is the one that's really been revving things up, and so when they say that the Democrats got to mellow out on their attacks on Trump, it's like, oh, I don't know. It's a lot different attacks. It's more on, what Trump stands for, which is very little.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the party that's wanted to hang their own vice president. And so it's, I just say, let's take a big, deep breath and move forward and really, go after this guy again for his policies, which we have been.
Yeah. And I would say too, when we're not living through a major historical event every other weekend, it seems, I hope we're able as citizens, as free citizens now currently to get out and enjoy ourselves and enjoy our communities and try to make a difference. I saw that you were able to head to Prairie Islands powwow, which looked amazing. It looked like it had a really big turnout. How was that?
That was awesome. I heard that the powwow was still going on, so I drove, and I thought I got a really good parking spot across the street from the powwow grounds, and the powwow was inside. So I had a long walk from my car to get to the convention center there, but it was awesome. Good energy. Ran into a lot of people. Ran into the new vice president of Ho Chunk Nation and her son.
Oh yeah,
Danielle DeLong, and again, congratulations on that awesome big thing. That's great for tribal nations to have women leaders, because women lead the way.
Yes, I think we need some more women leaders. So congrats, Danielle, again.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to try and call Bob Blake. He's driving from, ironically, Red Lake. So Bob Blake from Red Lake, and then we're going to try and shag down there Dr. Stately and see where he's at and what's going on. But hey, you're listening to Native Roots Radio's Monday edition of Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back.
When we heal from our traumas.
When we face our fears.
Let go of our addictions.
When we relearn our values.
When we live our teachings.
Respecting our elders.
Cherishing and honoring our children.
When we honor and take care of our spirit.
There will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Wabin. I am an enrolled member of the White Earth Nation, descendant of the Navajo Nation, and co-chair of the Indigenous Employee Resource Group with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. MnDOT is hiring for a variety of positions from road maintenance to accounting and more. We offer great benefits. For more information or to set up a one-on-one resume and application assistance, visit mn.gov/careers, or you can text or call 612-257-2388. 612-257-2388.
Attention transit customers. On Saturday, June 15th, Metro Transit will make changes to transit service within your community. As we do each quarter, we review our resources and ridership trends. These service changes continue our ongoing work to best serve customers throughout our system with our given resources. A summary of the upcoming service changes and a preview of the updated schedules are available now at metrotransit.org. Again, that's at metrotransit.org.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Yeah, I am awake. And hey, I'm hoping I have a Robert Blake from Red Lake on, Solar Bear with the Solar News. Are you there, Robert?
Yes, I am here, Robert.
Right.
I am driving right now. But Robert, there's a lot going on in the solar news. But Robert, the Solar Bear also covers environmental justice issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw on the news today, but there were 84,000 gallons of oil spilled in North Dakota.
Oh my goodness. No, I haven't. And I appreciate the update.
Yep. So, there was also a story that ran today about the Bad River tribe in northern Wisconsin who are asking Enbridge about the Line 5, to better work with them because they don't want an oil spill. I mean, I'm just saying, Robert, oil spills happen. I think Bad River is in their right to be, asking these things and these tough questions. And, oil companies seem to think that oil spills never happen. And one just took place today.
Right. And Enbridge is notorious in the last 15, 20 years of oil spills. And that's why we were really fighting against Line 3 here in Minnesota. And now Bad River. Did you see the documentary Bad River? The movie?
No, I did not. I'm still waiting to see it. But, it's amazing how that story runs today about how Bad River wants more cooperation from Enbridge.
Yeah.
Because they don't want an oil spill in their community. This oil spill takes place today, 84,000 gallons in North Dakota. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what's old is new, and we really are dealing with that constantly, and it's an attack on sovereign nations across Turtle Island, and on and on and on. And Bob, we started the show because we were fighting Dakota Access Pipeline almost 8 years ago now, the reason why Native Roots Radio started.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. And I think that, I hear from a lot of you. As a matter of fact, I just talked to Senator Mary Kunish today up in Red Lake, and we were just talking about the radio show.
Yeah, well, hopefully good things. It was a warm day. I was at Prairie Island, and I was very hot at their powwow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we had a film crew down there from the Minnesota Solar Energy Industry Association that's going to do a really cool project at the conference this year here in Minnesota. And the concentration has been more outreach and engagement to the Native community from the solar industry. So that's really cool. Some wonderful, and another good news, Robert, about the solar industry here in the state of Minnesota is there going to be a ombudsman now for the state of Minnesota. And one of the things that they're going to focus on is the interconnection issues that are taking place across the state right now. So I think that's great. I really feel like Minnesota is moving in the right direction, and that's a great sign that the state of Minnesota is taking this initiative to have a solar ombudsman, really, working here at the state level for all of us Minnesotans.
Oh yeah,
so we can meet our goals. Yeah, so we can meet our goals for a carbon-free, Minnesota by 2040.
That is huge, and again. We got an election coming up, and we were kind of talking about that in the first segment, Haley and I, and it's so important for us to get out there and vote and not be discouraged and listen to these polls. I feel like it's going to be a blue tsunami again, and we got to just stay vigilant and really talk about issues.
Well, yeah, and I've heard all the, well, what if, the other side wins and all, what's going to happen with renewables and all that stuff. And I just want to tell everybody right now that nothing's stopping this. This is the train has left the station. I'm sorry, everybody. Renewables are the future. They're coming down in price. Battery technology is getting better. Electric vehicles are the range is getting longer. They're getting cheaper. Everything is taking shape. So honestly, nothing's going to stop us now, Robert. And I know that trying to make the federal government change mid form is just not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on their way. They're a big ship. You just don't change courses on these guys. It takes years for them to change courses.
Well, that reminds me of an old saying: you can't change horses in the middle of a stream. Hoa.
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, exactly. So I just don't see it. That this is going to continue to move forward like this, and that's just the truth of the matter of it. So for all the people out there that are worried about, is the renewables going to stop? It's not going to stop. There's too many. And another thing too, Robert. There's a lot of investments from private equity now going into the renewable energy industry. So, all these business guys, they're capitalists. They want their return on investment. And, so with that being said, none of this is going to stop, Robert.
Well, and that's to my point too, Mr. Blake from Red Lake, is that these big, the economy's going too well, the stock market's going crazy. These rich people that are putting money into solar and making money off the economy will not want a new president to come in and screw things up.
Exactly, Robert. And that's why my whole point is to everybody out there that are asking for Biden's head right now to jump on board, come on in for the big win. You know what I mean? Like, let's get behind this guy and let's just destroy the other. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just come out and vote in masses and really continue the all-time market stock, all-time stock market highs, the unbelievable unemployment rate that goes back to like the Carter years. I mean, we're talking forever and a day now.
Mm-hmm.
And, all the prices, inflation is coming down. We've got that under control now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Robert, this is just, it's too good. And I just feel like, we can't stop the momentum that is happening in the country right now.
Right.
Yeah, there was the pop shot at Trump. Yeah, that's bad. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right. But come on, let's people, let's come together. Like I said, jump on the home team and come on in for the big win. That's where we're at right now, Robert.
I hear you. And, things are going so well. We just have to, and the Democrats have to just compare what's going on. And there's a good guy that's older, and he's really taken control too. And people are forgetting about that debacle debate. And he was strong. He's been on TV now twice since the assassination attempt of Trump. And he is super presidential, and people trust him all over the world.
And Robert, let's not forget, okay, people out there listening, President Biden doesn't do all the work. He's got a great staff with impeccable, resumes and a track record for getting things done. They're the ones that are implementing the day-to-day and getting all this great things that are happening for our country right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Look at what happened overseas, in those landslide elections over there. I mean, essentially the Dems, won those elections.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, and I really feel like the United States, needs to follow suit in that, because when we're all on the same page, our economies are clicking like this. I mean, so many good things can happen for the planet, for the people, in these countries. I mean, it just seems like a really, really opportune time to not change leadership, everyone. This is not the time to change the course.
I hear you. Well, Bob, what else you got working on here? We got another minute with you.
Well, I will be receiving an award next week out in Baltimore, Maryland, for I guess all this work that I do. So I'm kind of excited by that. The EPA, the person from the EPA is giving it to me. So I'll be on Baltimore, Maryland. I'll post pictures, and maybe I can reach you out from out there, do a segment from out there while I'm out there.
Perfect. Well, congratulations. It's well-deserved. Robert, thanks for spending time with us. I know you're driving, and you're driving that car that does, it's an energy car. Oh, wow.
Miguel, that's the Solar Bear with the solar news, Robert.
I'll talk to you soon. Congratulations again. Hey, up next, I'm calling up Wendy Pilot and see what she's doing in New York. We'll be right back here after this short break. Stay with us. Oh! Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl. J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Hi, I'm Mary T., inviting you to experience our integrative Mary T. Health and Wellness Center, offering physical, occupational, speech, and lymphedema therapies. Experience our guided imagery, meditation, Tibetan medicine, dry needling, massage services, including cupping and oncology massage. Sign up for our free wellness screenings and learn more at marytwellness.com. All major health insurance providers are accepted. Come for therapy, experience wellness.
AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950, here to tell you about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If your home was hit with the most recent storms, trust the most well-reviewed exterior construction company, Snap Construction, for a free home inspection.
This is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. There are a lot of great construction companies in town. My advice is to take your time and do your research. Make sure they are locally owned and that they guarantee their craftsmanship for life. Also, you want to find a company that's been in business for at least 10 years. You want to work with a company that's going to be there long after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims, and we'll help you through the process.
Don't go with the out-of-town fly-by-night contractor. Most storm damage goes missed by the untrained eye. Trust Snap Construction for your free storm damage evaluation. For your free storm damage evaluation, call Snap Construction at 612-333-SNAP or visit them online at snapconstruction.com. That's 612-333-SNAP or snapconstruction.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Are you looking for a fulfilling profession where you can put your communication skills to work in medical, educational, legal settings, and more? Become an American Sign Language interpreter. Did you know that there's a high demand for qualified interpreters throughout Minnesota? You can learn American Sign Language and interpreting skills through programs at St. Paul College, St. Kate's, or North Central University. Learn more through each college's website. Paid for by the Minnesota Commission of the Deaf, Deafblind, and Hard of Hearing, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 63, then Tuesday sunshine with a high of 77. Check out the big annual sale at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces going on now through the end of July. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has been finding a place for fire in your life since 1977. Visit their showroom in Minneapolis at Franklin and Riverside or go to woodlandstoves.com.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, we're having my best friend and my partner on. I called her last minute because we had a cancellation. Dr. Stately wasn't able to come on with us. Wendy, are you there?
I am here. How are you?
Pretty good. Cleaning the house, getting prepared for your homecoming. Oh, wow.
Yes, I'll be there on Thursday evening.
Right on. Hey, we were talking before we talked to Bob Blake, and in the first segment, Haley and I were talking about you text me when I was at the Two-Spirit Powwow, and I wasn't 100% sure if the information you were going to give me was accurate, because sometimes your friend that texts you pulls your leg.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
You text me about Trump being shot.
Oh, I did. Yes. Yeah. So I when I'm here in Long Beach, New York, I rarely watch the news. So when I'm on social media, I'll see things, but I did. A friend of mine texted me and said Trump was shot, and I was like, "What? Oh my God!" So then, of course, I turned on the station right away to see what happened. And listen, I'm not a fan of the guy at all, but this kind of thing is really, to me, disheartening, and I don't condone it or want it to happen. So
right.
I just want to put that out there. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't really know what's happening right now either. I think they're doing, the investigation to find out who this person was, the 20-year-old.
Right.
A lot of people put a lot of good points up. He's 20 years old, so he can't buy a drink.
Right.
He can't go to the casino and gamble, but he can have access to an AK-15.
Right.
Which is really scary. Apparently, his father bought it legally 6 months ago. So, I mean, the story's going to come out, and we're going to find out, hopefully, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of conspiracy theories out there that this was all staged.
Right.
So I've been, looking at that too. So
right.
hopefully someday we will find the truth and we'll figure it out. But, we have to keep democracy alive. And for me, I'm voting blue. I saw a meme on social media that said, I'm going to vote for Biden, even if his head is in a jar filled with formaldehyde, so, I mean, that's what I'm doing, because, even if you don't think Biden is, well enough to be president, he's got a lot of experts working around him. He picked really good people to support him and to help him make important decisions. Not like the other guy who picked his family. So, that's how I'm going. That's what I'm doing. And no one's going to change my mind, although I do have a few people,
Well,
think I'm crazy. But I don't know.
Well, since the shooting, Biden's been on national TV twice, and people are forgetting about his big mess up at because he sounds strong now again.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I've heard. Not that I have seen it because I have not watched it, but people have mentioned that to me. So I'm glad to hear that. I really am. I'm glad to hear it. And he's going to have another debate in September. So what I would like to say is all the smart people are around him. If he has a cold or he's on cold medication, he's not feeling that great, postpone it. That's all. Postpone it.
Well, hey, Wendy.
For a couple of days.
Wendy, I want to talk about I want to talk about the weather there, and I got to tell you this: here in Minnesota, it is so humid, and it seems like with the humidity. When we're young, when humidity comes, we get rain, and we've been really humid and really getting a lot of rain, and the weather has been freaky. I know in New York, it's way weird.
It's way, way hot here, although, we're close to the ocean here, so we get that nice ocean breeze. But it is hot and it is humid. And I just want to remind everybody out there that when it is hot and there's water not available to put water out, in Minnesota, they've been getting plenty of rain. But here, we haven't gotten a lot of rain. So I went over to the little garden where my mom has her ashes. It's a memorial garden, and we put my mom's ashes there, and we have like a stone there for her. And it's a beautiful memorial garden, and I love it because all faiths are allowed in there, and they have beautiful trees and flowers all around. They have park benches that you could sit and just hang out and be peaceful. And they have 2 bird baths there. One regular stone bird bath, and the other one is a big giant conch shell. And when I went in there, the water was stagnant in there, and I saw 1 or 2 of the birds trying to get water out of there. So I got rubber gloves, and I borrowed a spigot. Timer, my pasta's ready. And I went over there and I cleaned them out and I put fresh water in and I sat back on the benches. And Robert, I couldn't believe, like the birds were watching me do this. And they came right away to drink the water. They were thirsty.
Yeah.
So I was happy that I'm able to do that. So I just want to put it out there as a little sacred animal segment to help our wildlife. Even if it's the simplest thing is to give them water when it's hot and humid and there's not a source of water for them. They really need our help. So.
Well, and you started that trend here in our backyard, and the ducks come in, and I I was really leery of that, but the ducks love the water. The squirrel, when it's hot, squirrels put their little shoulders on that water and drink it, and the chipmunks and everybody.
Yeah, I know. And it really is. And when you have a source of food and you have a source of water and you have, plants and vegetation, you're going to have wildlife. And it's so beautiful. I mean, we look outside and we're in the urban cities, and we have chipmunks and rabbits and squirrels and possums and and sometimes they're all out there at the same time. It's like a menagerie. And Robert has these 2 crows that land on our garage roof and squawk at him until he throws peanuts out. I mean, these animals, even the wildlife has us trained.
Yeah, don't forget the big old raccoon too. My goodness.
Oh, and the raccoon. That's right. I did forget about the raccoon. That's Rocky. We call him Rocky.
Yeah,
it's really.
Yeah, we're in the urban settings here, and we have even in a few blocks. We live close to the river. I walked down to the river. There was a deer running down the block, and I'm like,
wow, it is amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love that kind of thing. So I love walking in that garden, not only to, say hi to my mom
right.
and reflect, but I just love looking at all the plants and the trees, and there's so many different kinds of birds, and it's really, really nice in there. So I'll check it again tomorrow and see. I might be putting more water in it. So it's attached to the church, and the church has a hose, so I could just, do it myself. I know I have my neighbors here think I'm crazy because I have, everybody thinks I'm nuts. That's okay. I don't care.
Well, I don't think you're nuts. I know you're nuts, and because we've been together for so long, and but nuts in a good way. It's funny. Years and years ago, I started feeding the squirrels with Fisher peanuts. Then we used to go to Cub and then get unsalted, and now they won't eat the salted ones, so we have to get them unsalted ones so they don't have high blood pressure.
Exactly. I know. It's really amazing. And in the winter we have the heated bird bath because the birds and animals still need a water source, and we have that bowl that's also heated. Our backyard is filled with extension cords and all kinds of things. It's a little crazy, but if there's a harsh winter, they need shelter, they need water. So yeah, I enjoy doing it. It just it makes me happy. So.
Well, and again, it's a good reminder, Wendy, especially now when it's really hot and here and muggy in the Twin Cities, and I know it's hot out in New York, and is to leave water out for the little animals.
Yeah, yep, just a shallow pan. You can put something in it if it's a deep pan, so if anybody gets stuck in there, they don't drown. So put a stick so they can get in and out. And, the bees. I have pictures on my phone that I have shredded apples in a shallow pan, and I just left out for the bees during the spring when there's not a lot of flowers for them to start pollinating, and in the fall when everything dies and they're looking for something sweet. And I've had so many bees in the backyard and on that shredded apple, so they can get the liquid out of the apple, and they're not going to drown in the water. So that's always a good thing to do too.
Right. I got a couple apples. I should be doing that too tonight. Now that you mentioned it.
We always buy the apples, and then when they're like, "Oh, we haven't eaten these. Oh, it's got a rotten spot." Okay, we'll just shred it up and give it to one of our critters out there.
Yeah,
so
that's a really good idea. Hey, we got a minute left. I really appreciate you coming in and last minute like this. And Dr. Stately was at a gathering at the university, and he couldn't, and it went longer than he thought. So I appreciate you checking in with us, Wendy.
Yeah, no problem. I've been saving those little memes, those little cartoon things, those cute things. There's a really cute one I saw today. I'll share it right now. It's a man, and he's in the bathroom, and you know he's on the toilet, but you can't see him on the toilet, and the dog is outside the door with the door open, and the dog is saying to him, "Go on, go potty. Go on, go on." I just wondered that.
That was a good one. Hey, big peeny gigi Wendy. I'll be talking to you later during my walk tonight. Ho-wah.
Sounds good.
Love ya. Hey, that was Wendy Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. And up next, Haley and I are going to be talking local and national Native news and events. Right, Haley?
Absolutely. Get ready.
We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Attention transit customers. On Saturday, June 15th, Metro Transit will make changes to transit service within your community. As we do each quarter, we review our resources and ridership trends. These service changes continue our ongoing work to best serve customers throughout our system with our given resources. A summary of the upcoming service changes and a preview of the updated schedules are available now at metrotransit.org. Again, that's at metrotransit.org.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Wabin. I am an enrolled member of the White Earth Nation, descendant of the Navajo Nation, and co-chair of the Indigenous Employee Resource Group with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. MnDOT is hiring for a variety of positions from road maintenance to accounting and more. We offer great benefits. For more information or to set up a one-on-one resume and application assistance, visit mn.gov/careers, or you can text or call 612-257-2388. 612-257-2388.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Oh, we should have kept Wendy on for the howl. Ho!
Yeah, next time. We'll do a good one next time.
There you go. Hey, we got things going on here, and it's kind of fun, Haley, putting together a show. And I know you get stressed and gray hairs, but looks like we're almost done with the show, and nobody got hurt.
It always feels like, an extra hour long when we have some guests fall through, but that's okay because that last segment gave me some time to wrap up some entertainment news and stuff going on in Native film and everything.
Right on. Well, hit us. People out there want to hear.
Yeah. Do you remember probably a couple months ago when the Cannes Film Festival took place, and I talked about Kevin Costner's Horizon film, The American Saga.
And you went to see it too.
Yeah, right. But no, not that one. But I bring it up because we talked about it, and we talked about how we're tired of non-native filmmakers telling our stories and blah, blah, blah. But here comes, a couple months later, Kevin Costner's Horizon 2. This was supposed to be a 5-part film series, by the way. Wow. Horizon 2, the second one, will no longer be releasing on August 16th. Horizon, an American Saga, earned $11 million and took third place during the film's opening weekend. This is coming from indigenous.tv on Instagram. Apparently, they only made $11 million from the box office, but had a budget of $100 million. This announcement comes a couple weeks after from Kevin Costner's controversial comments with Entertainment Weekly that divided its Native American fan base, where he shared he is, quote, tired of people being, quote, so delicate around Native representation.
Hey, you know what's really funny too, Haley? There was a lot of juice from Dancing with Wolves that he directed and starred in, but my Native friends always used to call it Dancing with Kevin Costner because of the white
savior.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I kind of called it, but hopefully this is a good thing that these films flopped and we can get some narrative from some Native storytellers and they can pick a story up. And, I think we tell it a little bit better, but that's just my opinion.
Well, there's two sides of the coin. And when you're not using or asking or talking to Native writers or actors or then you're going to run into troubles, especially these days, and with social media out there and people calling it out there. I don't know if you remember this, but it was totally bizarre, and one of my favorite Saturday Night Live people of all time, he did a movie with Netflix and really had despairing Native American characters in that. Adam Sandler, I don't know if you remember, that was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Not really.
And
what was that called?
I don't know, but it was, people were pushing back because of it's a comedy, so you're making fun of Native Americans, and we get that enough as it is in reality of it, and so there was a big pushback on that, but it happens all the time. We have people that appropriate our art. We talk about that when we're at the fair, and we have all these native inspired designs, which is really just code for stolen from natives and not giving any money or credit to them.
Yeah. Always make sure you know who the native artist is. If something looks native, ask them who made that. A better film review here comes from the film Fancy Dance with Lily Gladstone and Isabel DeRoy Olsen. That recently released on Apple TV, this film Fancy Dance. I've heard nothing but great reviews about it. I have yet to watch it myself, but I've seen Lily Gladstone talk in interviews, just kind of the night and day, comparing it to her work from Killers of the Flower Moon. If those listening do not know who Lily Gladstone is, she also starred in Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio. And she is just really taken off in the spotlight here in Native film and really pushing for, the narrative to come from Natives themselves. So I applaud her for that. Everyone check out Fancy Dance. It should has a really good story aspect to it.
Well, there was a buzz of that movie in the book, of course. And she happened to be on, she was on Reservation Dogs twice. And one of my favorite scenes or episodes of Reservation Dogs, she was in and played Daniel's mother that was in jail and went and visited her. And then all these Native spirits were around. And that's just a quick Reader's Digest condensed version of it. But she's been kicking butt for a while now.
Yeah, that's true. Some other good news coming out. This was a show that I started watching. It's called Dark Winds. Have you heard of that?
Oh, absolutely. And our friend who is a head of New Native Theater wrote the first episode in the second season. So,
oh, wow. Yeah, that would be Rihanna Yazzie.
Yeah, so she's really involved with that, and that season's coming up.
Good. Yeah, I know. Well, a while back, I thought that I heard season 3 was declined and that they were going to be done with the show. But I guess season 3 is on the way.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah. And this show has some really great Native representation. We've got Jessica Madden, Zam McLaren, and Kiowa Gordon. So that's exciting. I'm excited for another season of that. Just keep up with this representation. We got some more good news coming from a great Native band here from Minnesota. This is Pretendians Band, as we've had them on in the past and had a lot of fun with them. Thomas D., Christine, and others from Pretendians Band have 2 songs nominated to the Native American Music Awards. These songs are titled The 38 and War Cry. You can find them on Spotify or Apple Music at Pretendians Band.
Yeah, we'll have to have them on again. And we did play, I believe, when those songs came out, we played when we interviewed them for the whole show, we played some excerpts from that new album. And
we definitely did.
The 38.
The 38. It's so classic. It has a really Dakota stand in the lyrics of the song The 38. And hopefully people can check them out. Pretendians Band. It's not The Pretendians, but it's Pretendians Band. And they rock. I mean, really, you'll hear some amazing drumming from Christine and just really more like heavy metal kind of rock stuff that gets you up on your feet.
Definitely, and the words are awesome, and it's fun. I see the drummer and Angie Big running around. I call them the dynamic duo now. I see those guys hanging out.
Yeah, we got to shout out Vig Guitars. We haven't had Angie on in a while, it feels like, but any of you that need some work done on your guitar or need any accessories for your guitar, head over to Vig Guitar Shop. That's off of Snelling in St. Paul over by the Minnesota State Fairgrounds, where we will be soon.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Haley, one of the things that's really with wood and your guitars, they need work, and they go out of tune and they bend a little bit because of this wood. They're a life in its own, and that's things that I've learned from Angie Big and Angie Big Guitars.
Yeah, I know. I've learned a lot of things. I'm not a guitar player myself, even though I wish I was. But Angie knows a lot, and guitars change like the weather, so make sure you're taking care of them.
Absolutely. Hey, great job, Haley. I see you plucked out your gray hairs from the completion of the show, so I appreciate you. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. From Chief Plentycoops, the ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It is the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, vote blue no matter who. You're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And free Leonard Peltier. Now.